What happened to the cowherd who became a poet?
Where when 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 it was winter time, the wood logger threw a big log into the fire. Who will sing us a song? He said. I will, said the cook, and he said, so let us all be ministers for the night. Everyone sang a song in turn. The cook sang about war, the servant sang of the sea, the wood logger spoke of the trees, but everybody but the cowherd was singing. He wanted to stay away from them because he did not know how to sing. He did not know any song, and he had a harsh voice. So they said, "Cowherd, sing us a song." And then, but he had already went back to the stable. So they said but our good friend was too afraid and went away. And then, while he was sleeping, that cowherd heard a voice, "Sing for me." Cowherd, sing for me. He said, but alas, I cannot sing. But he said, still, sing for me. And so he sang about the song of creation, how the world had been made. And then the shepherd boys that saw him and stood there in the drifted snow with their mouths open. Then the cook and the wood logger came in, and then one of them said, "This must be the most beautiful poem ever made." And so the cowherd became one of the most timid person to the greatest poet of England. The lesson that I learned for here was that you might have something that you think you might be not good at something, but you can. But if you were talent in you, unexpected talent in you, so you just go on.
What happened to the crucifixion?
So when Judas got the 30 pieces of silver, he said to himself, I have crucified a man who is not guilty of anything. He said, take this back. He said, we do not care. It is not our problem, it is yours. And so he threw the 30 pieces of silver into the tower and hung himself. The thief said, This is blood money, and we shall use it to buy a potter's wheel, and that is where people were put in tombs. And when Jesus was put in crucifixion, Pilate said, he said that you made this one of these two prisoners, the other prisoner or Jesus? They all shouted for the other prisoner. He said, but Jesus had nothing to do with, but Jesus did nothing. And what they said, and Pilate said, I am not guilty for this man's death. And so the crowd said, we are guilty for Jesus' death. And so the other prisoner was released, and Jesus was put onto the cross. The soldiers made fun of him, and then he said, oh Father, why have you deserted me? And then there was his last breath. And then there was earthquakes, tombs cracked open, locks split open. There was a huge earthquake. And so they said, this must be the son of the Messiah. And then they put him in a tomb with a big stone on it. They said, Jesus said something to prove that after 3 days he will awaken again and that you must guard it. And so he said for the soldiers to guard the lock on duty. The end.